A long time ago, the world was brand new and very beautiful. The rivers sparkled like diamonds, and the trees were filled with delicious fruits. But as time went by, the people living on Earth began to change. They forgot to be kind. People started to fight and take things that weren't theirs. They stopped listening to God altogether. In the middle of all this unkindness, there was one man who was different. His name was Noah. Noah prayed with his children every day and did good things for others. Noah often told his family that even if the world is loud and angry, they must always choose to be quiet, kind, and faithful because obeying God is the most important thing of all. One night, while the world was quiet, God spoke to Noah in a very special voice. God said that the heart of the world had become too heavy with fighting, and he was going to send a great rain to wash the earth clean. He commanded Noah to build a giant boat, an ark, to keep his family and the animals safe. Noah was surprised and asked how he could build a boat so far from the sea. God explained that the ark should be 3 stories high, made of strong wood, and sealed tight to be a safe home for everyone inside. Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, began to work immediately. They chopped down tall trees and carried heavy logs. The ark was growing larger every day until it looked like a giant wooden palace in the middle of a field. Their neighbors, Caleb and Eldad, often came by to watch them work. Caleb laughed and shouted to Noah, asking where he planned to take such a giant box, and if it was going to grow wings and fly. Eldad joined in, mocking Noah for believing it would rain when they hadn't seen a cloud in months. He told Noah he had grown old and silly. Noah calmly looked at them and replied that they were mistaken, and there was still time for them to change their ways and join him. However, Caleb and Eldad just laughed and walked away. When the ark was finally finished, a miraculous thing happened. A great cloud of dust appeared on the horizon, and thousands of footsteps could be heard. Noah's wife called out in surprise as she saw the animals approaching. The elephants marched with a heavy thud that shook the ground, while the giraffes walked with their heads held high. Lions walked with majesty. Birds filled the sky like a colorful blanket, and even tiny snails and wiggling worms joined the line. Noah welcomed them all, directing the giraffes to the top floor and the elephants to the wide spaces. Once the last animal was safely inside, God himself reached down and shut the giant door. Suddenly, the sky turned dark and a powerful rain began to fall. Thunder roared and lightning flashed across the sky. The water rose higher and higher until it lifted the giant ark off the ground. Noah and his family could hear the heavy rain pounding on the roof. When the boat began to rock back and forth, Noah's son felt a little bit worried. Noah comforted him, saying that they should not be afraid because God was the captain of their ship and he was holding the ark in his hands. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain never stopped. Inside, however, the animals and the family slept peacefully, protected from the storm. Eventually, the rain stopped and the sun peeked through the clouds. Noah opened a small window at the top of the ark to look out at the vast ocean. He first sent out a raven, but the bird found no place to rest. Then, he sent out a beautiful white dove. The first time, the dove came back tired. But a week later, Noah sent her again. As the sun was setting, the family heard a soft cooing at the window. Noah cried out in joy because the dove had returned with a fresh green olive leaf in her beak. This meant that the trees were growing again and the earth was waking up. The whole family cheered with happiness. Finally, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The great door was opened, and a wonderful smell of fresh grass filled the air. Noah told everyone it was time to leave, and the animals ran, hopped, and flew out into the sunlight. As they stood on the dry ground, a brilliant, 7-colored rainbow stretched across the sky. God spoke to Noah and told him that the rainbow was a sign of his promise. He promised that he would never flood the earth again and that he would always love and protect his children. Noah and his family thanked God, and they began their lives in a brand new world filled with hope.